Thunder-Sky Inc. is a gallery set up to archive the 2,000 drawings that Raymond left behind after he passed away in 2004. Thunder-Sky Inc. also features the works of other unconventional artists that have a similarity to what Raymond was trying to accomplish in his work. Raymond had two personas. He loved the idea of being a clown. He loved the idea of being a construction worker.
I think the mix of the clown and the construction worker is pretty interesting too, because I mean it's this sentimentality, this funniness as a clown, and the construction worker is all stoic and going about his business, and so I mean those two things coming together kind of is interesting.
Well, he merged the two things that he cared about the most, you know, in his performance and in his drawings. Whatever you see depicted in the drawing is being torn down to make way for something else, and that something else is usually involving clown suit factories, circus highways, some sort of theme park. He had a beautiful idea of the future that the real world had to be torn down to make way for. Thunder-Sky Inc. opened October 30th, 2009, actually the day after the 5th anniversary of his passing. We opened it in October so that we could focus on memorializing that 5th anniversary of his death, and we have this space now that pays tribute to him. Also focuses on artists that have a similarity, and we use Raymond's work kind of as a metric in what we consider unconventional. Being an artist, you have to be stubborn no matter what. The world's not set up for artists, and if you're an artist with a disability, you have to be extra stubborn. And if you're a minority, which Raymond was an extreme minority, being that he was the son of a Mohawk chief here in Cincinnati who had a mild form of autism, it's extremely brave of him, I think, and stubborn to keep going. He didn't let anything get in his way. And I think I've described him as, it's probably not politically correct to say that a Native American was a pioneer, but he was truly a pioneer in the fact that he had a mission, and it was just a sense of stubborn joy. He wanted to be joyous no matter what.
I think a lot of times in social work, which is what I make a living with, the people that you help are kind of like charity cases in people's eyes, or like not really your level. You're in charge of helping them, and I think what Raymond, and a lot of other people I've met, but Raymond's a really good example. He lets you know that he doesn't really want your help or need your help. He wants to kind of be in charge of his own life, and you're there to maybe help him every once in a while.
You know, it's one thing to help somebody get food stamps, and you know, it's another thing to help somebody figure out they have a valid point of view. You know, people don't quite know how to take us because I think we're truly artists at heart. We're not social workers, we're more like culture workers.
And I think that's kind of what Thunder-Sky, this place is, the Inc. gallery here is like, it's not based in disability world or in a day program world. It's based in this idea of like Raymond as a model, not because he's a person with a disability, although he is, but he's a model for great art. So again, like pushing the limits of what art is, while also paying really good attention and really a serious attention to the aesthetics of it. So every time we have a show here, it's usually with an outsider artist that can be labeled with a disability or whatever, with an artist who went to college. And so they're always going to be side by side so that you can kind of break away from this kind of notion that outsider art's a different genre, and really it's art.
We want to try to move away from the whole idea or the notion of outsider because it seems to have been used beyond its usefulness. The term itself has a lot of baggage, and it oftentimes reduces how you see the art. Is it something worthy of pity, or is it, oh, isn't this amazing? It gets in the way of understanding the art as art. And so we want to use the term unconventional at this point because anyone can do unconventional art. And that's the thing that we love about Raymond, is that his work isn't necessarily about being an outsider, even though he's the quintessential outsider. It's about being able to convey your vision without a lot of crap. And that's kind of what we look for in the work that we feature here.
We have to always be conscious of the way we categorize people, and in art we categorize everybody, but there is a way to equalize and to see everybody as equal. Make it really, really hard for people to do that natural classification and pigeonholing. Always confront them with other ways to look at people. The harder we make that process, the better. The more complicated it is, the harder it is to make those judgments. That's our imagination that's lacking if we don't get that. Like when I look at that work by Dale and I see Kendra's, I want to make them connect. I don't want to say Dale is this and Kendra is that, and will never meet. I want my imagination and everybody else's imaginations to find those links. I'm pretty stubborn on making sure that the art is not about charity and not about sympathy, but about coming to terms with the fact that the art is great because it's great, not because it's made by somebody that has a disability. It's just good art, period.
Raymond had ideas of a true future. I think he was living his art, and his art was in the moment. His art was when the wrecking ball crashed into a building and left a big gaping hole, and then that gave him room to imagine what would be put in its place.